Hello and welcome to a new episode of Victoria 3 A to Z. Today we are finally finishing the letter B. That means we are playing Buton. We are a pretty small nation in the region of Indonesia. And of course I could do the usual stuff. And that is landing somewhere in Borneo and slowly conquer everything in this region. Or I could play tall. I can just sit on this island and try to develop it as much as possible. Start getting a bunch of migration, build up my economy and all that stuff. But instead, today I want to absolutely ruin this country. Everybody wants to get those numbers up. The GDP, the population, the literacy rate, but how about we try to get as close as possible to zero? Well, today we'll find out. For this campaign, research is not too important. Let's just get some random stuff and let's use our huge amount of authority. Let's get taxes all the way up and let's add a bunch of consumption taxes, especially on stuff that everybody uses, such as grain, clothes, and I guess liquor. Let's delete the army, I don't think I will need them, and I think the easiest way to ruin a country is to get rid of all of its arable land. Let's replace the subsistence farms with tobacco plantations. This way we are limiting the amount of grain we can produce and our population will start starving. And that's definitely what we want. The standard of living must go down. Pol Pot was nothing compared to what this guy is about to do. Yeah, people are already starving. There is no grain on our market anymore. Our GDP went down to only 3k and our population is expecting to drop by 2k per year. Okay, now what else can we do? I suppose we should start building something in order to go over the infrastructure balance and to completely destroy our market access. Oh, and that's the GDP is already broken. But yeah, let's start building some food industries, for example. We have no grain on our market, so that means they will not produce anything. Okay, now we're already getting a revolution. Let's try to appease the armed forces by passing this law. And let's add a tax on tobacco as well, since we're producing so much of it. Yeah, seems like everybody's angry, by the way. I don't understand why. By the way, don't forget to subscribe if you like seeing people starving to death. And also because I'm doing something special at 10k subscribers. Something I'm not gonna reveal just yet. And those guys want to do a duel. Okay, at this point you can fight. I think it's a bit better to die fighting than die starving. And I forgot, but let's make sure we're improving relations with all the great powers. I don't really want a great power to come here and stop my fun. Man, everybody is starving, no matter if you're upper or lower class. Okay, now are those food industries actually producing something? Yeah, seems like they're actually getting some food on the market somehow. I don't like this. Let's build something else instead. Like steel mills. A bunch of them. And I'll have to redo my consumption taxes. Because everything I was taxing before doesn't exist on the market anymore. So let's get a tax on groceries. And let's also start doing some violence suppression. That will give us even more mortality. Yeah, I have to say my GDP is looking pretty well. All the way down to zero. Isn't that amazing? And we also got a civil war right now. A religious revolt. Okay, that's fine, I don't actually care. And we also got local police force. But I'm not too sure how I'm gonna defeat those guys. Since none of us have any units. And we don't even have a border with them. So you know what, I think I'll just let them be. And my people are not starving anymore. How can that be possible? We just got another arable land. Well, that has to change. Okay, that's better. Those guys actually managed to get 2 units. But it still doesn't matter as long as they don't get a navy. And the revolt is slowly going in the negatives. Yeah, that's what's happening when a civil war ends in stalemate. Yeah, this game is really favoritizing the status quo. And another duel. Fight. Please. Now, looks like everybody wants homesteading. Okay, fine, you can get it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Popular playwright endorses reform. We can get 20 prestige from this. Okay, why not? We don't have any GDP, but at least we have a bit of prestige. That civil war is now over, and I want to disband this army. Or I can't actually do this because there is another revolution that's brewing. Well, I guess we'll see what's gonna happen. Well, never mind, we managed to get homesteading. And now we can delete everyone. Our population is down by more than 20% since we started. I think that's pretty good. But why is our GDP growing? I have no idea. Funny thing is that our slaves are actually living significantly better than free peasants. For some reason our standard of living keeps increasing. Oh, that's because we again have another arable land. No, more tobacco. That's what this country needs. And our market access is now down to 50. I want to get it down as much as possible. We could get some of this cultural exclusion. Okay, why not? Everybody should be starving equally, without discrimination. There we go. Now we can actually get freedom of conscience as well. Everybody should put aside their religious differences and starve together. Freedom of conscience enacted. Now you know what will fix this country? Yes indeed, democracy. This will surely fix the mismanaging of resources. And seems like all the upper strata is dead by this point. That's pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie to you. Democracy has been established. Now we can go for total separation of church and state. We got elections. And seems like the liberals won decisively. But seems like people had enough, and they are rising up in another religious revolt. This will probably end the same as the last one. But unfortunately, total separation failed. I guess we'll have to try again later. In the meanwhile, I guess we can go for national militia. That was pretty easy to pass. And that revolt was just defeated. And I got a movement for total separation. So let's do it now. This time I'm definitely gonna get it. And our population is less than half of what it was before. I'm really wondering if I can actually reach zero. Like I said before, whatever your fate is, you are still welcome to starve in my country. Now how about we try to get some elected bureaucrats? We keep passing laws left and right. Let's get some guaranteed liberties. Or maybe not actually. Because if I enact that, I'll not be able to use the violence suppression decree. So yeah, I think I'll cancel this. Violence suppression is pretty important. It gives us more mortality. Let's maybe instead go for a dedicated police force. This is probably a bit better. And as you can see, this GDP figure is really bugged out. Now I guess we can go for protectionism. And now we're going below 20k people. But our population decline is starting to slow down a little bit. Protectionism has finally been enacted. Now we can actually bring the trade unions in government. But I don't really want to use them for anything. I guess maybe some interventionism. Oh, and looks like we just got a new sultan. No, my friend, I'm not gonna get any poor laws. That's because I would have to pay welfare for everybody in this country. Okay, do I want poor laws? Okay, maybe we can get poor laws after all. Let's do it. Let's see if we're losing too much money. No, not really actually. We're not losing a lot of money in welfare. I'm losing a lot of money, however, from an event I got. And to be completely honest, that event might get me in bankruptcy. However, we enacted interventionism. But we're still slowly moving towards bankruptcy. Some people really want to ban slavery. Well, I don't really have a lot of slaves anymore. So okay, I might just free them. And yeah, we're going into default. So you know what? At this point, we might as well declare bankruptcy. It was to be expected considering we're trying to destroy this country. From now on, slavery will be banned. The Buton eruption. Okay, sure, give me all the devastation. That will give us plus 40% mortality, but only for a little bit. Oh, and we got the hard times. Well, that's amazing. Give me more mortality. Okay, now we're getting close to minus 10% per year. Okay, now why not? Let's try to also get some universal suffrage. It has a pretty small chance, but maybe it will work. And now once again we got another sultan. His name is Michael. Sounds like a very Indonesian name. And now the intelligentsia wants to get rid of the monarchy, and I can't form a legitimate government without them. So okay, I guess we'll have to cancel universal suffrage and become a parliamentary republic instead. There we have it, we became a parliamentary republic, and now this guy is in charge. And now I guess we can go for some proportional taxation. That could be pretty nice. And our population is finally going under 10k, from 56,000 only to 9,000. Now that's a pretty big shift. Wait, what just happened here? The East Indies just became independent, but they are still in a war with Austria. So yeah, I think after that war they will probably split up. Yes, as you can see, everybody in Indonesia is finally independent. And we have a new neighbor, Tidore. We probably want good relations with them. And now the intelligentsia is plotting a coup. Well, that's some bad news. Oh, actually, not anymore. That was pretty lucky. And now we also have a better taxation system. Oh, well, how about we now get some secret police? That could be quite interesting. It might be time to suppress some people. Oh, now Austria is having an uprising in this state. A Buton uprising. And if they win, they might join my country. I wouldn't really like that. Oh, okay, so we can actually choose if we annex them or not. Let's say we leave them alone. We let them be their own little thing. I just want to focus on this island and absolutely destroying it. Okay, we can establish a company, which is pretty much useless. But I guess we can go for this tobacco one. Now it seems like everybody wants universal suffrage. Okay, let's give the people what they want. And we might get another civil war. Let me try to arrange an accident on this guy. And the positivist is still in charge. There we have it. Now we have freedom. You are all free to die. Actually, from what I can tell, the mortality has kind of slowed down for some reason. And also every great power is trying to get their foothold in Indonesia. I don't really understand why the standard of living is suddenly going up. Now literally everybody wants property to woman. So that will happen. Although I'm not too sure there is any property to own here. But that was passed instantly. You know what? I think I'm gonna enact censorship. Because I want a little bit more authority. Very nice. Now I think I'll just let the game running for a while. Politics wise, I don't think anything else can happen at this point. Considering the intelligentsia has a monopoly on the government. And the standard of living is basically as low as I can get it. So the only thing left to do is wait. And I'll have to wait a lot by the looks of it. Thankfully for you, I know how to edit. And the intelligentsia might actually be able to do a coup. And I can't just kick them out of government, so I can't do anything to stop them. And they enacted an autocracy. It is what it is, I guess. At least we have more authority to add taxes. And now being autocratic, we can actually form more diverse governments than before. So that's fun. And guess what? We're getting another civil war. And it's over. And now we might get another one. Unless we enact technocracy, which to be honest, I might actually do. It's a nice compromise between autocracy and universal suffrage. And then again, we're still getting another civil war. And it's over now. Now let's take a look at how the rest of the world is doing. doing. Here in Africa, Ethiopia managed to unite, and also those guys managed to get their independence. I think that's because Portugal colonized this region. Other than that, Transvaal and Britain are splitting the south, and America colonized the entirety of the west coast. Senegal is also independent right here. And I have no idea how the Trucial state managed to get half of Libya. Let's also take a look at Europe. And the first thing you'll notice is this really weird looking France, who took a part of the Rhineland and Navarra from Spain. Italy also formed, Austria took Württemberg and Baden, and of all people, Bavaria and Bremen united to form the Confederation of the Rhine, who is a French protectorate by the way. Also British Albania and Montenegro. Over here in North America, the US managed to get control over most of Canada. Only this small part is still under British control. However, this is also where all the Canadians live, and looks like the British got all the Guianas. Other than that, South America is looking fairly normal. As for Asia, Tibet is independent, the British have conquered a lot of stuff all over the place, and Russia took a small bite of the Qing. But anyway, let's go back to us, the small nation of Buton. We are definitely a very prosperous country. In terms of GDP, you literally can't go any lower than this. However, our SOL is still better than Montenegro, and our population has kind of stabilized at about 4,000 people. Yeah, we took this country from 56k all the way down to below 5. I would say that's pretty impressive. Let's see how we're doing compared to the rest of the world. Okay, we're literally in the last place in population. The only country who's beating us is decentralized and is living right here in the mountains. So yeah, I think it's safe to say we ruined this country. The only thing who's doing pretty well is our literacy rate, but that's mostly because everybody that couldn't read died like 10 years ago. So yeah, in case you're wondering, those are all the laws I managed to pass. Those are my institutions. That's how the census data is looking like. And those are my two companies who have been absolutely useless. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, not forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more Victoria 3 A to Z, and I'll see you in the next one.